Hello, 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 everyone. This is Kicking In with Kat. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is a space where we celebrate, empower, and support all things women, from career advice and self care tips to real talk about life challenges and successes. This is your community for inspiration, connection, and growth. Whether you're navigating the real estate world, juggling work life balance, or just looking for a place to kick back and chat, you're in the right place. Let's build each other up and share our stories and keeping it together. So please share, like, and subscribe so that I can grow my channel because that's what I'm trying to do. And um, I wanted to come on and talk. One is that to be consistent. I think the part that I'm going to talk about today, and I don't see my title, so I'm still learning this. But the title is wants. The fear of loss of financial security due to life events. We're at the end of the year, we're going into the new year. This year is a lot has been happening. We have the elections, people are struggling. This is the holidays, New Year's starting off. So, what are those fears that, we are always happening? I know for me, one fear, which I'm working on, is to come live and be consistent and to talk to you ladies and gentlemen, if you come on in, about, what life, about what's happening to us as women and those things that we think about, what we go through, the feelings that we have. And I just wanted to come in and even include myself. This is why, I have been encouraged by my coach, the Silva, how to get on here and just be comfortable. And I think that for me, one of the fears that what we're talking about is that I never thought that individuals wanted to hear what I had to say. But I have a lot of my friends, neighbors, and everyone has been encouraging me for years to come live and talk about what we're going to be talking about. And that's just about life events, what's happening within our life, and the things that we can have and do, right? So, what I wanted to do is talk about what those financial stability and independence be, what our wants. We have wants, fears, frustrations. So we're going to be talking about what are those frustrations regarding financial stability and independence. I get excited and sometimes I get tongue tied when talking, but that is for me to slow down. So, number one that we're going to talk about is building a strong foundation. We as women, we aim to establish financial independence. And I think that's anybody. What we want to do is enable ourselves to make these decisions without relying on others. This includes securing steady income streams, managing savings, and building investments. So, this for me, also coming on to StreamYard and building here on StreamYard. I think that we have to think about all kinds of different avenues and different streams of income. They say that in order to be wealthy, you have to have at least 7 streams of income. So what are you going to do? What do you want? What are those passions that you have? What are those hobbies that you have that can create some money? Right? So the other number 2 is control over our finances. I think that, a lot of times with us spending and working hard, that sometimes we don't have control over our finances. For us as people of color, We're the number one consumers, but are we spending correctly? Are we saving correctly? Right? So our desire to control over personal and household finances, including budgeting, paying off debts, and planning for their future expenses. One of the things that I talk about, and I think maybe in one of the near futures, I am a financial capability person and a realtor, life agent. So the goal was to be a one-stop shop for us, to be able to help us to build wealth through real estate, to protect it through life insurance, and to preserve it through asset protection. But how do we do that? Have we ever been talked about, how to save money, how to spend it wisely, where to put it in at? So those things is what we need to do in order for us to build wealth, right? And I know even for me as a woman being single, that I remember when I was married, I felt invincible because I knew I had someone behind me that whether I, succeeded or failed. But if I failed, I knew that I could just get back up, dust myself off, and try something different. But when you are single, that makes you kind of like second guess yourself, right? And when you're second guessing yourself, sometimes we can make mistakes, or you're not making those right decisions because we're unsure. We're not confident in what we're doing. So this is one of the reasons why we want to work on being confident in our finances, confident in making our decisions, and taking control of our finances. Number 3 is, security for the future. We don't know what our future holds, but that's what we all work for, is to create a stability future for ourselves, to create a legacy for our kids, and also for ourselves. Because as we get older, are we planning? Are we planning for our future? A lot of times we don't think about our future. We're only living in the now. So what happens, when you get to be older in our senior years and we're not prepared? That's a scary feeling. A lot of times people look back and say, if I knew what I know now, I could do different things, or I could plan differently. So, security of our future is one of those biggest things. So if you're young, this is a great time because you got time on your side. If you're older, you got to look at what do you need to do in order to make those adjustments and changes so that you can secure your future. Number 4 is affordable access to credit, right? Women seek fair and transparent access to loans, credit with favorable terms, purchases like homes, and starting a business. That is one of the things, and I was just talking with a couple of my colleagues today, how now they're making it difficult. Well, for women, it has always been difficult, and they're talking more about that now, is that, it's harder for us to get finance. It's harder for us to get funded for opening up our business. And what are we going to do, right? So credit. So we have to be wise when we're choosing our credit. We need to have our scores to be at least a 720. The lowest is a 640 to have good credit. Remember, the higher your credit scores, the lower the interest rate. The lower your credit scores, the higher the interest rates. So we want to make sure that, we position ourselves so that we are able to get more for less, right? So think about that. And number 5 is to clear financial guidance. The value of trustworthy advice from financial professionals or platforms can guide us through complex decisions. And here we go. This is one of the reasons why, I got into the financial sector, is because we as women, we as people of color don't trust each other. And it's hard to know that you really have someone that is going to be reliable, dependent, and that you really can understand that they are really in your corner and that they're going to give you the right decisions for you to make the right decision. So the information that you're given is to be able to, for you to make the right decision. And again, that's why I came in to do just what I'm speaking of, is to be able to give us the right information so that we're able to make the right decisions. And when you're able to make those right decisions, then you're able to plan accordingly. So that part. And then also number 6 is have equal opportunities, right? As women, we know that we're getting paid less than our counterparts. It's also difficult for us, to climb the corporate ladder. I was in corporate America for years, but because of, I was always told, that my counterpart, she didn't need some of the requirements that they had placed upon me. So my goal was, hey, let me go ahead and get everything that is needed. So then what do you have to say? But of course, other situations and, caused me to want to be on my own independently. So, and this started years ago. I knew that I really didn't want to work for someone, but that was a mandatory thing that needed to be done. So since 2014, I have been working independently. God has graced me so that I have been working to build my business so that, as we talked about previous, so that I could give clear and trustworthy information to individuals to know that they can go ahead and make those right decisions and feel comfortable. So when you're talking about having professionals, for equal access to financial products, including loans, investment options, without the bias and discrimination. And of course, when we talk about discrimination, that is one of the reasons how I became and decided to become independent, because my last employer, of course, discriminated against me. Okay. So, but of course, that is a different story for story time that I could tell you about of what happened and what transpired. But obviously it must have been good in order to allow me to be able to start and to work independently and to build my own business and career. So, number 7 is debt-free living. We all want to be debt-free. Don't you want to be debt-free? Right? And not have so much debt and be able to live your life, the best life, I say, to do what you want to do, how you want to do. And that's the part that I'm working on. I'm working on to be able to, have the funds to be debt free, to be able to do what I want to do on my own terms. And what we talk about living our best life, right? So women aspire to live free from overwhelming debts, focus instead on wealth building strategies, right? So this is something that we want to do, and I know that I'm working on. So number 8, home ownership. How many of you want to be a homeowner? I think they're trying to change the landscaping and scenario. They're building more apartments. So because they're gearing for you to be a renter opposed to be a home ownership, depending on where you're at, pricing of becoming a home ownership right along with the interest rates, which are normal. But the pricing of homes, because of low demand of housing, has made it very difficult for people to be able to purchase. So, of course, if they build a lot of more apartments, guess what? You'll never be able to create that wealth building strategy of homeownership that can give you the equity that you can of slow growing, that you can leave a legacy, or you can live off for yourself, so there's a lot of options that you have in regards to homeownership, right? And then number 9, the opportunity to grow. The desire for personal and professional growth through financial education, investment opportunities. I think that this is one of the most wonderful and beautiful opportunities that we as women are working towards. So I know for me that I desire that what I was talking about earlier is that the personal and professional growth, which I've done, right? But also the ability to be able to live on my terms, on life terms. And I don't want to, I always say that, when you're working for someone, you'll never become to make an abundance of income, of money, right? And so you'll always have to, more people nowadays I have to work not 1, 2, 3 jobs. So why not create something for yourself to be able to work on, and then that you can eliminate one of those jobs. I know for me, I just couldn't do it. I tried it. I tried to work second job, but that's just not in my character. And I've always had a non-traditional job, but it was always something that I could work on my own terms and time. So this is what we're talking about, the opportunity for growth. And also, you also always, always, always want to have professional development, right? If you're not reading, if you're not learning or trying things different, how are you growing personally or professionally? And then last but not least, it's the legacy building part, right? And this is what you heard me say earlier, that what I like to do is I like to help people build wealth through real estate, protect it through life insurance, and preserve it through asset protection, so that you can create a legacy to leave your family, because of the fact is that, do you want them to struggle that like you've been struggling? If you've been struggling, I know that all of us are at different levels and different points, but somewhere along the line, you were struggling in regards to building your business, building your career. So, and that what we do. We're working to build and to leave a legacy to our generation, to our children, so, and it's a goal, right? So what are you going to do and write down your goals and how you're going to achieve, financial stability and independence, right? And so with that being said, I just want to come on, talk with myself of being on live on StreamYard. And also my goal is to be consistent and to move forward. So with that being said, you guys have a beautiful day, evening, whenever you hear this. If you're hearing it live or if you're coming back, please again, like, share, and subscribe so that I can grow my channel and I can bring great content to you guys. And I'm just excited, nervous, afraid, of coming on. And that what has been my problem. So now I'm working on, because we're going into a new year, right? What are those goals that you're seeking? And my goal is to be more consistent of coming live and doing what I'm afraid to do. So again, you guys have a beautiful, talk to you soon. Bye.